guys, welcome back. Today we're taking a look at the SH Figuarts Monkey D. Luffy, and this has finally arrived after almost a month of waiting. I think I ordered this late September, and it only finally came in. So due to all the hurricane issues and stuff, it wasn't the fault of BBTS, but it did get delayed, and then the shipping, the tracking sort of broke, I guess. So it wasn't able to track the package. So for the longest while, it just said that it was at Orlando, and no further updates. And then it just suddenly arrived today. So I mean, that's a good thing. So we're gonna take a closer look at the figure, and first of all, start with the packaging. Alright, I'm not going to spend too much time on the packaging. You see promotional shots of the figure, one piece on top there. I actually have a little write-up here about what SH Figuarts is and the line. You want to pause and read that. I like that they have the straw hat cut out on top there. Pretty cool. And you actually see like a map of maybe the One Piece world there. On the back, more promo pictures. And quite a lot of Japanese, probably not going to be able to understand that. And on the bottom, Monkey D. Luffy, Romance Dawn, on the side, on the other side. I'm just going to go straight into opening this because I think my videos run a little bit too long, and trying to shorten those unboxing scenes down a bit. So you let me know if you enjoy the unboxings or if you just like to see it as is. Nothing in the background there. So what comes in this set? You get the figure, of course. You get his iconic straw hat. You can actually see the gashes that Buggy the Clown put in the hat, and Nami had to stitch it for him. Really cool. See a little peg there. We'll see how that attaches later on. It does come with a piece of meat. It's pretty cool. It does come with a hand to hold that meat. And he does come with a face to eat that meat. So those three sort of work in tandem. It does come with a smooth head sculpt, which is specifically for wearing the hat. And this is just bangs that you could put on also to allow the hat to be worn. Moving right into head sculpts, you have an angry one, you have a happy one, you have the two Gamu no bazooka hands, or Gum bazooka, but unfortunately no Gum effects. You get into that. You have one pointing hand, one pointing finger, and you have two sort of relaxed stands, which I was kind of wondering what the purpose is, but then I realized the hat could actually fit very, very snugly into this, so maybe that's what it was intended for. We'll check those out later, but that's pretty much what he comes with. Alright, so let's take a closer look at the figure. One thing I'll say right off the bat, this face and all the others provided, those are more time skip faces. This is always drawn after the time skip. Back in the day, Luffy was drawn far more gummy, so, and with some bigger smiles than this. So yeah, I'll post some pictures up there so you can see what I'm talking about. But this is definitely far more reminiscent of a time skip Luffy, or perhaps when they reboot the series, it'll probably be drawn like this from the start, perhaps. Nonetheless, still does look pretty cool. Face is very, very clearly printed. See that scar there, and those beady eyes. And There's some very, very subtle shading going on throughout the skin tones. I'm not sure if it's picking up there. See if I get any big ugly sprue mark or something on the side there. Kind of unfortunate. And even more unfortunate is the fact that they put this right there. It's kind of annoying. Nonetheless, though, no shading in the hair, just solid black. The red, I can't really tell. It doesn't look like it has shading on the red. The buttons are painted pretty clean. These and this top piece are all rubbery, so definitely can raise that up. See, got under there. Oh, it doesn't have a body. The pants definitely does have some shading going on through it. Nothing on the white parts though. But it is sculpted pretty nice. More shading going on throughout the legs. And you could see his infamous slippers. Excuse my stomach growling there. But those are done really nice and painted really clean. And the slippers have some sculpt going on underneath as well. So not too much to speak about, but it does look really good. It does look like the anime. Maybe not the Romance Dawn period of time, but it still does look good. So let's get into the articulation, and then we'll check out his accessories. Alright, so let's get into the articulation on Luffy. His head does look up about that far. Not the greatest. It does look down that far quite a bit, together with the neck joint. So up, down, can tilt side to side, and of course rotate, so you can get those diagonal down, diagonal up sort of looks. The torso is on a ball joint, does move around quite a bit. The waist is also on a ball joint, so together they can actually crunch forward a fair amount. Could probably force it a bit more, but then it might pop apart. The shoulders are on a ball joint here, which actually can be raised up. So, and once it's raised up, you can actually bring it across the chest. So if you wanted to do poses like that, you can. Can, of course, rotate all the way around and come up to about that far. The bicep does swivel. This elbow joint does give you quite a bit, double jointed. The wrist is on a ball hinge joint, so you can get movement going that way, or you can spin it and get the hinge going that way. It's pretty cool. For the hips, he does kick up to about that far. His legs are on a ball joint on the inside of the pants, and there's also no thigh swivel here, so all the swivel or anything is going to be from this joint here. So you can actually pop that apart and see that it's a ball joint. But I'm going to show you all something which I think will improve your liking of this figure a little bit more. This little piece sort of rotates inside, so you can have the pants leg, but I think it doesn't even look that great, to be quite honest. Just pop it off and dump it and never look back. And now you'll get significantly more range on that ball joint on the inside, and you'll even get far more, well, not far more, but you will get some more range on the knees. So take this one for example, and then take the one with the cuff on it. See if I could be fair here. And that's about the difference that you get on that joint. So I think it's definitely worthwhile. So for me, I'll be taking these and saying goodbye. The legs do split out about that far. And as mentioned, the knees do bend a little bit more than 90. It's alright. I wish it could have been a little bit more. Especially for Luffy. He needs to be super acrobatic and stuff. The ankles do kick forward about that far, back about that far. Does have a rocker. And something interesting, the toe joint. But the toe joint is actually attached to the slipper, which I thought was pretty cool. It does look pretty seamless. That's actually really nice. So all in all, oops. Went a little bit too hard there. All in all, really decent articulation. Maybe not so much on the knees. I wish those were a little bit more. And as mentioned, get rid of these pants, cuffs or whatever you want to call them. Get rid of those immediately. So we're going to run through the accessories on this. First of all, we'll discuss how we put on the hat. Basically, you get this smooth head sculpt. Hell sculpt. So you'll take your faceplate and you'll see those two pegs and you line those up with the two bottom peg. Says I, and then I can't get it. There you go. So once you have that, you take the bangs, and there's also two pegs and the grooves there. So you just take them. This is actually bendy, so you can actually do them one at a time if that's easier. And there you go. So now we have a head that is capable of plugging the hat into. And it does stay on pretty well. Says I, and then it falls off. So let's see if we could actually put this on. This hair piece, I forgot to mention in articulation, it's just sitting around the neck peg like this. I don't think it really makes much of a difference, to be quite honest. And it sort of makes plugging in neck pieces kind of a pain. So let's see if we can do it with that piece on. It's kind of annoying. Yeah. I think it is better off taking it off, and you'll probably even get more range on that neck, to be quite honest. But the hat, I think it could be a little bit better in terms of how well it stays on. And it would have been nice if they somehow magnetized this hat and sort of made it so that the hat could be shifted around, maybe to the front, because he does sort of wear it in different ways. He doesn't always have it in this one particular spot, you know. But the hat doesn't seem to want to plug into. I guess this is it. You probably just have to push the bangs up a little bit. But it does look pretty cool. And as mentioned, does kind of stay on pretty well, so that's also very nice. During this time period, he does have on the hat quite a lot, if not all the time. So really cool to have that. So for the different faces, we'll start with the angry one, of course. Happy, grinning, and meaty. Also the default head that comes with Luffy. You can pop the bangs off as well, and also pop the face off, and then put on the face you would like. Right. And then pop back in those bangs. I think those going quite a lot smoother than the others. There you go. So once again we have angry, the happy face. Then you have the meaty face. And as mentioned, to go with that meaty face, you have the piece of meat, and you also have the hand that's designed for holding. Basically, the one of the drumsticks or the bones on the meat pops off, and you can slide that through like so. Pop it back on like so, and then you could have him chowing down. He does come with 2 fists in package. He does come with a pointing finger for his right hand side. I was just thinking another cool use for this pointer finger would be if they somehow made some way for the hat to be able to balance on the finger, so you could have him doing that hat spin like he does in the intro. He does come with 2 gesture hands that could probably be used for a variety of different things. And as mentioned, you could probably use it for hip holding poses, but what I noticed is that the hat could actually fit snugly into the hand. It doesn't plug in or anything, but I guess once you get the balance right, it can look like he's just holding it like that. And of course, you could do some face palms. And the last pair of hands he comes with are the bazooka hands, the Gummo Gummo no bazooka or Gum Gum bazooka. But unfortunately, he doesn't come with any effects, any stretchy limbs or like extensions to his hand they could simulate the powers with. So it's just kind of weird. Not even one. That's crazy. He stands around 5 3/4 inches tall. Yeah, he is next to a premium DNA Earthworm Jim. Yeah, he is next to Jada Toys Mega Man. Yeah, he is next to McFarlane Batman. Yeah, he is next to CT Toys Spider Man. Yeah, he is next to Samurai Animals Spring. Yeah, he is next to Mayfex Nightfall Batman. Here's how he looks next to Jada Toys Dalsim, who came with some stretchy limbs, but he didn't. And lastly, here's how he looks next to Marvel Legends Ant-Man. Even though with the lack of gobble gobble effects, I think the figure is still worth it if you like Luffy from this time frame and wanted to get him in this sort of costume before the time skip. He's definitely the only option we have basically right now, as far as I can recall. But it is pretty cool nonetheless. They could have done a little bit better on the knees and possibly tried to go more old school art style for the faces, but nonetheless, they still look good. You still know who this character is. No mistaking that that's Luffy. The lack of Gummo Gummo effects really was quite an annoyance. But I will mention that there is an accessory pack coming maybe next year, and it does have effects like stretchy arms, stretchy legs, and something to make him look like he's doing a Gatling gun, which is kind of cool. So, looking forward to that. And hopefully, this review, although it was kind of late, was informative, and hopefully, it helps anybody on the fence about getting this figure. So, until next time, guys, y'all take care.